this is unusual. I said to the governor, do you have time for at least 1 or 2 questions from our audience? He said yes.
My name is Marcia Smith. I'm from Montgomery County, and thank you for appointing me to the Montgomery College Board of Trustees. I didn't know I was going to be getting into the things I did, but I can tell you, thank goodness for MSEA's training because it can be used on the Board of Trustees at Montgomery College. Many of the community colleges across the country, and especially here in Maryland, have discovered that accountability is something that they're struggling with. People do not necessarily go to community college to get a degree. They often go for training and for the ability to develop their career potential. So what are we doing in Maryland that will help those who are not going on past 2 years of college but need community colleges to help them with their training and workforce development?
Sure. I'm a huge proponent, fan of, booster for our community colleges. Without it, I think virtually without exception, the community colleges of Maryland are some of the most nimble, efficient. I mean, the degree to which they're able to stretch a dollar in order to provide our people with those upskillings and the other things that they need is really phenomenal. We were on the way to providing some annual increases every year, and unfortunately we had some of that progress slowed down pretty substantially, actually, by this Bush recession. We hope to be able to get back to that with increased investment. What I hope that we're able to do on K-12 education is to provide better connections and better links between our high schools and our community colleges, and in particular to dial up the career and technical education that's being offered in our high schools. Because that's the pathway. That's the pathway. I don't think there's a better way to reduce high school dropout rates than to show kids, especially from poor homes and neighborhoods, that, hey, you know what? If you go to high school, you're actually going to come out of high school with a job skill and one that can take you to community college and go to the next level. So I think our first year we did a 16% increase. We're still doing fairly well on the capital investments, and as we come out of this recession, I want to do a lot more because I know the community colleges, like state government, are counter-cyclical. Big word that simply means when times are rough, that's when more and more people want the services. So thank you for serving on that board.
Yeah, and thank you for supporting all of us.
Teresa Dudley from Prince George's County. The first part of the question is the slots referendum. When is that money going to materialize? And Blair's part of the question is, will that money be used to help get some of our teachers out of temporary trailers?
On school construction, we have already invested more than $1 billion in just a 3-year period, and I know there's a tremendous need. We want to continue to fulfill, at least at bare minimum, the COP Commission recommendations of doing 250 annually a year. Those capital dollars don't come from the operating side of the budget. They come from the capital side, and that's why when we pat each other on the back that we're one of only 7 states with a AAA bond rating, that ability to borrow long-term is what allows us then to make those capital investments if we think they're important, and we do, and so we want to continue to do more on that. With regard to the revenue from slots, one of them, I believe one of the licenses has been awarded, the one on the Eastern Shore, and so as soon as possible is my answer. I know there's no better time than right now, but as soon as possible, we want to see those dollars materialize. The unfortunate thing that happened to us on that, well, a couple of things. It went to referendum. I would rather have had it done when we came out of that special session without having to wait a year for it to go to referendum, but I'm one person and the legislature is a lot more people, and we had to get a majority. The other aspect of it involved this checkoff by local governments, and then the third piece of it was by the time we went out, all of the credit markets in our country seized up to such a degree that in that perfect storm, one of the people we had thought would bid, namely Magna, ended up not only being unable to come up with the cash to put down for their good faith money, but they also declared bankruptcy, and that's a further complication. But I want it to happen as quickly as possible. We're doing everything we can to push. They are coming, but those dollars won't materialize until, I believe, the first one to open will be next summer, and that will be the one down here.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.